Okay, so it's me again, Outfit People First. As promised, this second video is about dispelling the myth that OAPs receive less money benefits than immigrants. Now, this is a meme that goes around on Facebook quite often, and Twitter and everywhere else, and it basically details how OAPs are receiving, I think the figure that's given out is £6,000 a year. And illegal immigrants are getting £28,000 a year, and it's disgusting and it's evil and this sort of thing. And actually, it's a myth. It's not only a myth, it's a mistake that's been shared around the world in different countries. It actually started in Canada. This is something you can go away and look up, and this is something please do share when people share the meme, and you can send this to them. It actually started in Canada, and it came from a government initiative to move Somali immigrants to different parts of Canada. So rather than living in Vancouver, which was becoming slightly overpopulated, they gave a one-off grant to Somali immigrants to live in Ontario. And I think it was like $600 or something like that. When the newspaper printed it in Canada, they actually made a mistake, and they made out that it was a monthly amount. One of the readers sort of tallied it all up and added it all together and put it up with what the social security is for OAPs in Canada, and came up with this figure, and there was, you know, a bit of an argument in the newspaper over there, and it was retracted eventually. But by that time it spread like wildfire over the internet, and it was being used in Canada, it's been used in America, it's been used in Australia, and it's been used in the UK, and it all come from a mistake in a newspaper. It's something that never actually happened. Immigrants in this country do not receive more money usually than OAPs. I mean, you've got to imagine that it comes down to contribution factors. Anyone that's ever received any sort of welfare payments know that contributions are taken into account. So an immigrant wouldn't do very well on the contribution allowance. Another couple of points to remember are the use of terminology. So it's shared with three different titles usually. So we've got immigrant, we've got illegal immigrant, and we have refugee. Now, refugee is quite a specific term, and it's someone that has sought refuge in the country of choice. So say it's the UK, and they're fleeing from some sort of war or conflict or a dangerous situation. Now, even the most sort of hardened right-wing supporter usually is okay with refugees because, you know, it's, I mean, I would say it's a basic human right. I'm obviously slightly biased, but somewhere safe to live, you know, I'd be happy to grant that to anyone. Then we come to immigrant and illegal immigrant. Now, this is a really basic one that people seem to fall down on, but if you're an illegal immigrant, which means you're in a country illegally and the government are not allowed to know that you're there, would you walk into a government benefits office and ask for benefits? I think that's probably quite a bad idea. If you don't want the government to know where you are, I wouldn't walk into a government building and fill out paperwork and tell them who you are. So that's a very important point to consider. So, you know, next time you see it shared, you can explain this to someone, you can share the video to them. There's a lot of other myths out there that I'm hopefully going to go through and get some facts and come back and talk to you about. But this is one of the ones that's come up most recently, and it's one that I feel quite strongly about, because what people sharing this are doing is they're playing with your emotions. So they do this generally with old people, animals, and with children. So we saw it recently. There was an article in The Independent that someone had posted up a notice that said, please, it was in Tower Hamlets in East London, and they said, please do not walk your dogs here. This is a Muslim area and they don't like dogs. Now, a lot of people responded to this by saying, oh, you know, how have they, talking about the Muslim community, got the right to tell us not to walk our dogs here? Now, firstly, there's no ownership in the post at all. There's not one point that someone says, I'm a Muslim and we as Muslims have decided you can't walk your dog here. So there's no proof that it wasn't somebody trying to incite hatred in that point. But once again, they've brought animals into it. It happens quite a lot with children, and once again with the original post that we're talking about with old people. And it's something that's designed to sort of draw on people's emotions. So it's the same way that Britain First gained a lot of followers with their post, which was about hanging paedophiles. It's an emotive subject, and it's something that people are going to automatically get behind because it's something that will, you know, upset people and anger people. And it's a lot easier to incite anger than it is to incite love, really, or, you know, some sort of friendship or goodwill. Sadly, especially on sort of social media, it's something that people get swept up in, and once they've seen 10,000 people have shared it, and, you know, they kind of get involved in it, and it's something that is really, you know, as I said in the last video, part of the reason that we're here, giving people some facts, giving people another way to look at things, and hopefully, you know, if you're watching this and you have been kind of taken in, I suppose, by some of these before, next time one comes up, look into it a little bit more. Even just stick it in a Google search. Most of the time it will tell you that it's a hoax. There's actually a post that we shared on the People First page the other day, where someone had taken an image of a soldier and made up a story about them not being able to buy a toy for their kid on some fictitious road in London, and at the end they said, you know, this is completely fake, I've made this up, please be careful what you believe. Remember, this is the internet. It's easy for someone to make a picture, put some words on it and post it up. Don't believe everything that you read. Go and do a little bit of research into it, especially before, you know, you go around sharing it and possibly, you know, eventually somewhere down the line causing someone some harm. So yeah, that was the first of our myth busting videos. If anyone's got any more that they'd like me to talk about, if you've seen something out there that you think's a little bit spurious, you're not really sure about, send it in to me, let me know, and I'll do a bit of research into it and I'll make another video. Thanks very much.